frequency components at frequency f1 and f2. That means this signal has two frequency components. This is a time-varying signal, and this is the spectrum. For MRI data, this MRI data has data also has two frequency components, and these two frequencies correspond to the location. So the frequency can be replaced by the position parameters x1, x2. Strictly speaking, x1 should be replaced by r1 and r2 here. There is some misprint here. So the concept is same. This is the time-varying signal, but this is the time-varying signal. But for the in the point of view MRI image, this is the frequency domain of image data. If this spectrum is MRI image, so the peak intensity means the image brightness, and x1 and x2 is position of each peak. So if we extend this data to two dimensions, then this data becomes MRI image. So this data becomes the spatial frequency domain data. Okay, so MRI call this data domain as K-space data. K-space data is equal to the spatial frequency domain data. So there are some, the concept is the same as time-varying signal and the frequency domain data, but the terminology and the concept has a little bit different. So if we assume that this is the image data, then inverse transformed data or MR data domain is called as spatial frequency domain data or K-space data. So I would like to talk about how can you get the MR image using this concept. The definition of a pulse sequence is the train of RF and gradient pulses. As I explained about the MR hardware, there are RF coils and gradient coils. RF coils are related with the energy of MR system, and the gradient coil is related to the spatial information. So the role of RF pulse is to excite the MR response signal, and gradient pulse is related to encode it with spatial information. So we will discuss about this RF pulse and gradient pulse today. So this is familiar with features, RF probe and gradient coils. Today we will talk about the signal of RF probe and gradient coils. And this is an example of pulse diagram. This is RF pulse, and the three waveforms indicate the gradient pulses. This is if we assume that the GS is X gradient, Y gradient, and G gradient, and we can change the axis Y gradient, X gradient, G gradient. It depends on the imaging slice orientation. And this is the MRI signal. Because this pulse sequence is called as a gradient record sequence, so this signal is also called as a gradient record
these ones can determine which is sitting here. Sagittal and the other one.
Right. Sagittal coronal actual by changing the axis of gradient. So if we choose the selection gradient as let's say the G gradient, if we choose just as a G gradient, then the image is actual image. So I will explain about that later. Okay, let's move to RF pulses. I think this slide is also familiar, very familiar slide. So the magnetization is vector sum of individual spin vectors, and for the equilibrium magnetization M0, which is parallel to the external magnetic field V0, this equilibrium magnetization flips according to the RF pulse, which has the resonance frequency omega 0. Then if we stop the RF pulses after the magnetization flips alpha degrees, then we call the RF pulse as alpha degree RF pulse. If the alpha is 90 degree, then this RF pulse is called as 90 degree RF pulse. If alpha is 180, then RF pulse is called as 180 RF pulse, or inversion RF pulse, because the flip direction is inverted by the inversion RF pulses. The flip angle of alpha is determined by the strength of RF pulse and the width of RF pulse. And the equation which determines the flip angle is like this. Alpha equals gamma P1 tau, where the P1 is the strength of RF pulse and the tau is the width of RF pulse. Okay. So I think this equation is also discussed in last class. This slide shows the various RF pulses which determine the flip angle. If we assume that this pulse is a 90 degree RF pulse, then the 180 RF pulse have been made by the extended pulse width by two times. Okay? And or if the field strength is 2 times with the same pulse width, then it's also 180 RF pulses. From these figures, we can say that the RF pulse flip angle is determined by the pulse area. So for the 90 degree RF pulses, we assume that the area of RF pulse is P1 product by T. So for the 180 RF pulses, the area of RF pulse is 2TP1. And also this waveform has the same RF pulse areas. And mathematically, flip angle can be calculated by the integration of angular frequency of magnetizations due to the RF pulse. Omega 1 is the flip angle, angular frequency of magnetization due to the RF pulses. pulse is constant, then we can calculate the flip angle like this. But for time varying RF pulse intensity, it cannot be written like this because P1 is the function of integration of variables. So it should the area of RF pulse should be calculated by integration operation. Okay. We know that the FID is the MRI signal due to the RF pulses. So the FID signals decay according to the T2 relaxation or T2 stop relaxations. And this slide shows another MRI signal which is called as spin echo signal. The spin echo signal comes from the combination of two RF pulses, 90-degree RF pulse and 180 RF pulses. And the echo signal is generated after the same time as the time interval of 90-degree and 180-degree RF pulses. So if we set the time interval between 90-degree and 180 RF pulse as TE over 2, then the time interval from 90-degree to spin echo signal peak time is TE. We call this time as echo time because the dismissed echo MR signal is regenerated here, so we call this signal as echo signal. And this signal is generated by two RF pulses. So we call this signal as RF echo signal or spin echo signal. So there are two kinds of MRI signal, FID signal and echo signal. Okay? And how can this echo signal is generated? So the principle of echo signal is described in this picture. But this pulse spin diagram is corresponds to the time here. A picture is corresponds to here, and B spin diagram is occurred at this time, just before the 180 RF pulses, and C spin diagram is correspond to the time here, just after the 180 RF pulses, and the D spin diagram is correspond to the time of spin peak of spin echo signals here. Okay, just after 90-degree RF pulse, the equilibrium magnetization flips to transverse plane like this. A red arrow is the RF pulse P1 field. So due to the 90-degree RF pulse, equilibrium magnetization flips 90-degree to Y prime axis. After that, the individual spins spread out or decays out or pan out like this due to the spin-spin interaction and the field inhomogeneity, as I said before. So that's why the FID signal decays like this. And directions, then each dispersed spins flips due to the RF pulse. So each spins are rotated along the RF pulse axis because the rotation angle flip of direction is clockwise direction. As I said before, the RF pulse direction should be like this because this arrow is already drawn in the textbook. So I think textbook had some mistakes in the direction of RF pulses.
Next slide.
Yeah, this arrow shows the direction of flip of individual spins because the RF pulse is applied in this direction. So if we left hand directions, right? This is RF pulse and this is a spin flip direction. For the 90-degree RF pulse, this is the RF pulse and the flip direction is the other finger's direction. Okay. So, and after 180-degree flips of individual spins result in this spin diagram. So the one spin flips to here, and number two spins flip here. And we call number one spin has faster than number two spins because the spins are flips here. Okay. So after the 180 RF pulses, the spin has the position according to the each rotation speed like this. Okay. And after the before and after RF pulses, the field inhomogeneity and the spin-spin interactions are same. So the rotation direction is the same as before the RF pulses. So each individual spins continue to rotate like this. After the same time of interval of TE over 2, then all spins are comes together like this. So the summation of vector has maximum values here. So that's why the signals are regenerating here. And the direction of magnetization is opposite direction of FID signal. So that's why I draw the echo signal in the negative directions. So if we use the different directional RF pulse, for example, if we apply the RF pulse in this direction or in this direction, then the quality of signal will change. So we call this signal as a spin echo signal or RF echo signal. But conventionally, we call this signal as a spin echo signal. So, I said there are two kinds of MRI signal, FID and echo signals here. So this slide shows the principle of the process of generation, spin echo generation. After 90-degree RF pulse, the magnetization flips 90 degree to the transverse plane. So this transverse component of magnetization generates FID signal like this, and FID signal decays according to the T2 star relaxation times. Some other times, if the RF pulse 180 RF pulse is applied here, then spin flips like this. Because the RF pulse is applied in this direction, the flips, each spin flips along the RF pulse direction, the clockwise. So these spins rotates in clockwise like this. So these dispersed spins come together here and generate the spin echo signal here. So by applying the RF pulse in y prime direction, we can get the same polarity of echo signal. Okay. So in previous slide, the RF pulse is applied in minus x prime direction. Then we get the minus polarity spin echo signal here. But in this slide, RF pulse is applied in y prime axis, and we get the same polarity echo signals here. So according to the direction of inversion RF pulse, we can control the polarity of spin echo signal. Yeah.
So we can say if the freak angle 180% degree, that means spin echo, or 90 degree is FID.
Yeah, if we apply only 90 degree RF pulses, then we get only FID signal. By combining 90 degree RF pulse and 180 RF pulse, we can get both of FID signal and the spin echo signal. Okay.
And what is the effect of the result if we set the freak angle from a lower to higher degree from the MRI scanner?
Yeah, this is the typical pulse diagram. If we change the flip angle, we can also the FID signal and the spin echo signal. It's a general method to generate the MRI signal, and it will be dealt in chapter 7 or 8. I will explain about that. For that case, we have to understand the repetition of this pulse sequence, and the repetition time, when the repetition time is short, then there are some complexities generates the several signals. So I will explain about that later. Okay, let's move on. Gradient pulse. As I said before, gradient pulse is used for the spatial information encoding. So if you assume that there are two spins at different location, and using these two loops with the deep opposite current, then the linearly varying magnetic fields are generated. Magnetic field is generated. So by this linearly varying magnetic field, two nuclei experiences the different magnetic field P1 and P2. So two nuclei has different precession frequencies omega 1 and omega 2. So this signal comes from this nuclei with the frequency omega 1. This signal comes from this nuclei with frequency omega 2. So two signal has different frequencies, and the frequencies are correspond to the location R1 and R2. This is the role of gradient field. So we call this magnetic field as gradient magnetic field or gradient field. So this coil, this gradient field is generated by these two, a pair of two loop coils with opposite current direction. So we call this pair of coil as gradient coil. So this slide shows the connection of two gradient loop coils, which generates the gradient field. So in this connection, the current direction is opposite direction, and these currents are derived by gradient amplifier. So this gradient amplifier is a kind of current amplifier. The output current range is about more than 400 ampere. About 5 or 6 years ago, I heard that the maximum gradient of it's a G system. The ratings of gradient amplifier has 600 amperes. So it's very high power current amplifiers. And this graph is an example of gradient waveform as an input of gradient amplifier. So this waveform is generated in computer, and this linearly varying, especially the linearly varying gradient field is generated when the waveform is in the state of plateau. So for the constant current in the gradient coil, the constant gradient field is generated. So during the transient time, rising or falling time, the slope of gradient varying is varying time. So because the gradient coil is a kind of inductor, the frequency response of this system is similar to the low pass filter. So it has not worked for the high frequency signals. So that's why the gradient waveform is like a trapezoidal shape. For the ideal gradient waveform, maybe the rectangular shape. So that's an ideal waveform. So in practice, there are some inductance and it has some frequency response characteristics. So we cannot use the rectangular shaped gradient waveform. Here, the gradient, the unit of gradient waveform is millitesla per meter or Gauss per centimeter. We already practiced about this. So, I think it was there was some homework about this. slice should be selected first. So to select imaging slice, the gradient field is applied along the imaging direction, slice direction. So if you assume that the imaging slice direction is G, then G gradient is applied like this. Then the spins in the human body distribute along according to the gradient field. That means the spin precession frequency of spins are different at each position of human bodies in a G direction. So when he generates the RF pulse which has limited bandwidth and center frequency, then we can select the desired slice. So the RF pulse has the frequency range like this. The center frequency is omega, and the bandwidth is delta omega. And that means the RF bandwidth is 2 delta omega. Then let's assume that the precession frequency is omega here, and the RF pulse has a center frequency of omega. Then RF pulse excites the spins in this area due to the resonance phenomena. Do you understand the resonance phenomena? According to the resonance phenomenon, the same the frequency which has the same range in the range with the RF pulse are excited. Okay, you should understand the resonance phenomenon here.
The bridge will work.
Yeah, I explained the resonance phenomena with the bridge photograph, right? Okay. So let's assume that the precession frequency of spins here has omega at the center, and each edge point has omega minus delta omega plus here plus delta omega. Okay? And RF pulse has a frequency component like this. Okay? So and the RF pulse has a spectrum. I lost points. Yeah, here. Okay. So RF spectrum is like this. Okay. Now this is the spectrum of RF pulse. Then the only spins in this area are excited according to the resonance phenomenon, because the characteristic frequencies of spins in this range, it has the bandwidth of 2 delta omega with the center frequency of omega. Okay, this is the characteristic of. I better write this. Delta omega. Okay. It's just the bandwidth. It's just the bandwidth. So, and for the external energy with the same frequency can transfer the energy to the spins maximally according to the resonance frequency, resonance phenomena. So that's why MRI has the R letters, which is designated by resonance. Okay. So using the resonance phenomena, the desired slice is selectively excited. You got it? Okay.
Only the one who matches the same resonance.
Right. So the key point is gradient field is applied to get spin frequencies spatially linearly varying spin precession frequencies. So this frequency distribution is due to the this gradient field. So after that, by changing, by applying the RF pulse, which has the bandwidth of 2 delta omega and the center frequency omega, then we can selectively excite the spins in the desired slice. If we change the bandwidth delta omega, then we can change the slice thickness. Right? If we change the delta omega, then the thickness of slice is changed. And if we change the center frequency omega, then we can change the position of the slice here. Right? So we can get any slice and any thickness by controlling the center frequency and the bandwidth of RF pulses. Okay. This is a slice selection technique. Yeah, that's a good question. There is the point here. This is a gradient field which is determined by the current of gradient coil, right? So if we change the strength of current, then the slope of gradient also changes. For the small current, the slope is small. So if we increase the gradient current, then we can get the high gradient. Okay. So according to the current of gradient coil, we can change the magnetic field strength because the slope changes, right? But at the center position, the magnetic field does not change, even though the gradient field is changed. Okay? Yeah, just it's the pivot of gradient field. It's the center of magnet. So this slide shows how can we can control the slice position and thickness. So as I said frequency of RF pulse, and the bandwidth is the RF frequency range. So if change the center frequency, then we can select the position of slice like this. Okay. And the bandwidth determines the slice thickness here. So if we use the Ramo equation, we can calculate the thickness which is related with the RF bandwidth and the gradient strength. Because the magnetic field B equal gradient product G, right? So for the magnetic field change, the delta G is slice thickness, right? So slice thickness can be calculated by this equation. Is it clear? Okay. So as I said before, the gradient concept and the Ramo equation is very, very important, okay, because it will be frequently used. Yeah.
Slice thickness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can get the MRI image,
Mm-hmm.
sequence of MRI image,
Mm-hmm.
and then this slice thickness. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, which side we can see in the image?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. If we get the MRI image which has a slice thickness delta G, then okay. This is the MRI image which has a slice thickness like this. Okay. The image is displayed in the 2D.
Yeah, 2D.
Yeah. So this is thickness. So if we see the brightness in the monitor, and this brightness comes from these pixels, and the brightness comes from the summing of the spins in these pixels. So we see the averaging signal of in the pixels. Okay. So we call this effect as a partial volume effect. P-A-R-T-I-A-M. That means that if the slice thickness is thick, then we cannot distinguish the small details of anatomical information. So the thin slice has a high resolution in slice directions. So, but if the signal becomes less for the thin slice, that means the SNR is poor for the thin slice. For good SNR, we get the thick slice image. But for the resolution or partial volume effect, we have to get the thin slice image. So that the resolution and the SNR is a trade-off relationship.
How thin is a good slice?
It depends on the size of small structure of tissues. The smaller is better.
Oh,
Yeah, better for the